Hello everyone, it is Doc Hitchcock, and I'm back again to solve
the To the Moon puzzle once again.
But this time it's a little different because it's gonna A, go quicker, because I know what I'm doing this time around, and B, it's gonna happen the way it was intended. I've talked to Leisure Luke, I sent him back the puzzle, he refurbished it, and now we should be able to see exactly how it's supposed to work. So let's get into it. All right, so as you can see, here's the To the Moon puzzle. And what you'll notice immediately is that the blue filament that he used was the problem last time. And it's a little more shiny now because he's using a different type of filament that is more robust. So we shouldn't see any of the breakage that we saw the first time, and we should see the puzzle work as it is intended to work, because it really is a good and fun puzzle. Now, the really great part is that now that I know exactly how it works, I know what all the clues are, I can actually hopefully get through it pretty quickly, so this shouldn't take too long. So let's dive right in. So if you look at the first part of the puzzle, I'll move the stand aside, you can see we know we start with the dial puzzle here. Now, one of the things that I noted but I missed the first time is I noted that the To the Moon symbol here actually shows the dial symbol. And what I didn't notice was that when you actually solve it, you can actually match the back and the forth of that symbol just to open the puzzle. So really, he has the answer right in front of us, which is pretty sneaky, but pretty ingenious because I didn't take the bait the first time. Okay, so now we have where we first ran into the problems, which was this first switch. So we'll go ahead and take that tool down, and we know that we have to switch these, or turn these hex bolts in order to activate this. So we will go ahead and turn the gold bar as indicated by AU for gold, and we get that flip of the switch there, and then we can actually turn that down and flip that blue switch. So now we've unlocked this puzzle number 1. If you recall, this hex bolt is also used for this puzzle here to unlock the do not push switch. So we'll go ahead and do that. Right, that releases. We'll put our hex bolt aside. Pull that off, we won't need that again. And so now we have our rocket, and we know, if you remember from last time, this NASA puzzle, we know a couple things. We know, A, that this is gonna be the key that comes from the rocket. We know that we can look down into this mechanism and actually choose that 3, and then we can see the white one we can go to, and it matches there at 2, and then we know 1, because of 3, 2, 1 blast off. We push the button, out comes the rocket, and the rocket actually opens to reveal the key that we actually can put into this keyhole here, and that'll pop open our second switch there. So now we have our rocket, we can put that back together because we're gonna actually use that for this puzzle here, where we can now place that into that little hole, where when we turn it, it actually brings up this star. And if we push this spade in at the same time, you can see that that releases our little happy face here, which is the key. Now, what we weren't able to do before, we'll go ahead and take that out and set it aside. What we weren't able to do before is release this one the correct way. And so if you looked at Mr. Puzzle's video, you saw that he was able to get down into there and release it because that filament was broken. As you can see, the spring filament is in good shape right now. I turn halfway through, where I can feel it, and then I push in and push up, and then it releases. And so I believe that is the mechanism that is intended using the key. So now we have the third side unlocked, third part of the puzzle unlocked. And so now the final part of the puzzle is this right here, which is actually the puzzle. And so if you can remember, there's a keyhole here actually that we can use this key to allow us to do this. And so the first part is we push this blue part here. This blue part is actually this puzzle piece that allows us to actually move that to one side. However, that arrow needs to be lined up with this and the arrow on this. And because this side will not allow us to do that, we have to use this key to actually turn that so that we can push this red part to the other side, which allows us to start pushing that arrow in the right direction. Oh, first we gotta push this here, and it allows us to start pushing. And then we sequentially push these buttons, these puzzle buttons, in order, and it allows us to move it. You need to push the blue to get this back up, we'll take our key out, and then we'll push the blue to switch it over to that side, and then start, I believe, at the bottom, then the middle one, and then the top, till we get this all the way around. And make sure it's lined up on that middle one. Is that right? Is that lined up? Oh no, did I go too far? I think I might have gone too far. Anyway, let's put this up. No, I did not. It released this, and that's the final lock. So now the moon does raise up, and we can unscrew it, open the moon up, and then we can actually push out the moon. Remove this. Here we have the asteroid vault with the Leisure Luke logo, and if we remember, you just have to slide this out, if I can get that. And we have a little note. We have our intergalactic space token, two-toned, and the note says, thank you for helping improve my puzzle. Enjoy, Luke. Well, you're welcome, Luke. I gave Luke a few of my thoughts as far as improvements, and part of that was actually providing this, which is a little spare parts packet for it in case something like the key breaks. I think there's some rubber bands in there as well, so that over time, if they snap, you can put new ones on, because we all know that rubber bands don't last forever. They get a little more brittle over time. And what he also says is that if you're not going to solve it for a while, you should just go ahead and leave it unlocked. And that allows that these little blue springy parts are going to go back to their normal positions, because they will, if they're kept like that over time, they will lose their springiness in the sense that they'll settle into this position, and so they won't pop out as easily. So let's go ahead and reset this. All right, and there you go. That is the proper way to solve the To the Moon puzzle box by Leisure Luke. There have been a couple people that have commented on my former video about the price being a little bit high for a puzzle that breaks, etc. But what I will say is that a lot of the 3D printed puzzles do have a bit of fragility when it comes to some of the more thin parts or whatnot. This one is way cheaper. This is $100 less than one of the puzzles that I got that was 3D printed that I didn't even like, that wasn't really fun for me. This one was totally fun for me. Great story, super interesting to look at, a great display piece. And of course you can find the files to print, albeit a smaller size, I believe, of this. And the description down below will have the link to that. I believe there's still some more of these founder puzzles available. I would highly recommend that you support Luke. He's fixed the blue filament issue, and he does give you spare parts for when it does fall apart or break or whatever, in the rare instances that it would. And you're supporting a puzzle creator as he's getting going into the puzzling world. And who knows, maybe for the people to get the Founders puzzle, he might give some sort of interesting discount or special puzzle or something down the road. No, I'm just kidding. Luke's told me nothing about that. Again, Leisure Luke, To the Moon, great solve.